All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to look at something pretty inspiring, I think. We all have dreams, right?
Hmm.
And turning them into reality, well, that's a whole other ball game. But that's exactly what we're going to explore today, looking at this case study, um, the story of Shelley's Crate Escape.
Oh, interesting.
It's this boutique pet hotel, and it really highlights what can happen when you mix a whole lot of passion with, like, some seriously savvy problem solving.
A pet hotel. I like it already.
Yeah, and especially I think if you've ever had that feeling of like, okay, I've got this great idea, but the actual logistics of starting a business just seem impossible.
Right, like where do you even begin?
Exactly. This one's for you, especially all you learners out there. So let's dive right in. This case study talks about Shelley, and she had this vision, right?
Okay.
She wanted to create this super peaceful, like idyllic pet hotel
I can picture it, yeah.
tucked away in a beautiful rural setting where pets and their owners could like completely de-stress.
Escape the hustle and bustle.
Totally.
Yeah.
But, nothing worth having comes easy, right?
Mm.
And Shelley hit some snags, some pretty common ones, actually, when you're just starting out. First off, budget was a big constraint.
Ah, yeah, familiar story.
She was getting these crazy expensive quotes from, like, all these traditional architecture firms.
Right.
And those places are notorious for having these ridiculous lead times, too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They get booked up and they've got those kind of, those multi-layered processes.
Oh, I know what you mean. It can take forever.
Yeah, they can be really thorough, but not exactly known for being speedy.
Not at all. And it wasn't just the budget and the time. The lack
Hmm.
of direct communication was also a huge problem.
Communication. That's going to be one of the biggest pain points for like anyone, not just entrepreneurs.
For sure. She was constantly having to go back and forth through, like, all these different people.
Layers and layers of people.
Oh, I can only imagine the frustration.
Yeah, and think about it, that back and forth just eats up so much time and energy, right? Especially when you're in those early stages, time is precious.
Exactly. But wait, there's more. So just when things are looking a little bleak, Shelley stumbles across plans for you.
Okay, plans for you.
It's this design service run by this guy, Terry Dobbs. And from what I gather, he's like a total lifesaver for Shelley.
Oh, how so?
First off, the price was right, their quote. Way more reasonable than any of those big firms. Shelley could actually breathe again.
So it was within her budget. That's a big one.
Huge. And get this, Terry was like, yeah, no problem. I can start in less than 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah,
Ye-
seriously. You should have seen the look on my face when I read that. Traditional firms, you're lucky if they even answer your email in 2 weeks.
I was just thinking that, yeah. That's pretty remarkable, especially for something as complex as architectural design. It speaks volumes about their agility.
Right, it's like night and day.
I'm guessing that speed was a major selling point for Shelley too, right?
Totally. Especially for a startup. That kind of turnaround time can be like everything.
Yeah.
And to top it all off, she got to work directly with Terry. No more middlemen, no more communication black holes.
Direct communication. That
Hmm.
can make or break a project, for sure. When you think about the classic project management triangle, right? Time, cost, and quality. Communication underpins it all. If the communication is bad, it can throw everything off.
Oh, I totally agree. And to give her even more peace of mind, Plans for You had this amazing portfolio full of successful projects.
Oh, so Shelley could actually see what Terry was capable of.
Yeah, she wasn't just taking a shot in the dark.
Right. That's so important, that transparency. And like we were talking about before, the trust that it builds, knowing that the person you're working with has a track record of delivering.
Definitely. So they get started on this design process, and it sounds like it was smooth sailing all the way. Terry was super receptive to Shelley's vision, incorporated all her feedback and everything, delivered the final drawings right on time, and, just totally nailed it.
Sounds like they had a good partnership.
And the best part, if Shelley had any questions or anything, she could just pick up the phone and call Terry directly.
Wow, you almost never hear that these days. It's usually like you get an email address for like info or help, and you're lucky if you get a response in a week.
Ugh, don't even get me started on those. So
Yeah.
refreshing to hear about someone who actually picks up the phone, right?
Yeah, it definitely seems like that direct line of communication was key to keeping the project on track and minimizing those potential headaches.
Absolutely. And so, drum roll, please.
Yeah.
The happy ending. Shelley gets those permits, opens the doors to Shelley's Crate Escape, and it becomes this huge hit in the community.
That's wonderful.
Right. A true testament to her vision and, let's be honest, her perseverance through all those initial roadblocks. And you know what else? Shelley even gave this glowing testimonial about her experience with Terry. Said it was a complete game changer for her.
I love those stories, the ones where passion and practicality come together and make something amazing happen. It's not just about, building a pet hotel. It's about that whole entrepreneurial spirit.
So inspiring, right?
Right.
And, thinking about our listeners out there, I think there's a really powerful message here.
What's that?
Even when things seem impossible, even when you're facing all these obstacles, finding the right resources, the right partners can completely change the game.
It's like that saying, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. If
Oh,
you want to go far, go together.
that's perfect. And I think Shelley's story really underscores that. It's a reminder that sometimes the best solutions are found outside the traditional ways of doing things.
Absolutely. And maybe that's a good question for everyone to consider, right?
What kind of question?
Well, like what hurdles am I facing in my own, in my own life or my own work? And are there creative solutions out there that I haven't even thought of yet?
That's a good one. So, to all our listeners out there, we want to know, what hurdles are you facing and how are you getting creative to overcome them?
Yeah, let's hear your stories.
We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your dream to reality journeys, all those challenges you're tackling. Keep dreaming big, keep diving deep, and we'll catch you in the next deep dive.
See you then.